think the event today that ShowFilmFirst has ran is just a fantastic initiative, and I think really you cannot give someone an education in one day, but it's about raising issues. I think it's about planting the seeds of ideas. I think it's about being provocative.
A really successful event, because what they've done, they've really transposed simple ideas and made it more accessible. So I've found it really useful. I found Ludo's opening especially useful, whereby he didn't use film clips but just practical advice. So yeah, it was very good, really inspiring.
I'm consulting on a script as it goes between a number of drafts, and it's not always progress. It's an interesting word that you use there. Sometimes you go backwards to go forwards, the old as the saying goes. And it's an interesting relationship, because it's the writer's script. It's not mine. It's not the producers. It's not the directors. It's the writer's script. So often what I'm doing is pushing them to take ownership of it and make it as good as they, try and connect them to what it is they're trying to say and make that as clear as possible in the script.
It's nice to be able to meet other people who are either interested or working in the same industry.
Really, so far it's been great, because it's been giving you ideas about making it really structured, which is what I've been lacking really, I think.
It was really good because you really wrapped up the basics of sort of everything the script writing is about.
You've got this idea in your head that, oh, this is what people want to see, great dialogue, and this is really funny, and you've watched so many films, Tarantino, all those guys, comedy, and he kind of, when he said, that dialogue is secondary and it's visual, and then you realise, oh yeah, it is a visual medium, and that was really, for me, that's the biggest thing I took away from what he said.
I like the way at the end he summarised what can you do to make a short, low-cost film.
First time out the gate, there's loads to learn, and needing to lean on other people and listen to the advice of other people, and always being willing to take on board feedback and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, you have to trust your gut, because you're going to be relying on that, and that's where the thing's going to be coming from. So it was I think the most important thing that I sort of learned through that experience was actually, if my gut's telling me that something isn't working, listen to that.
Yeah, well, the competition is for a treatment which should be made into a feature film. So it's a one-page telling of your story, and it should be representative of the story. So the first paragraph being the first act, middle paragraph being the main meat of the story, and the third paragraph being the finale.
The competition is really focused around looking for ideas which very much elevated genre. By elevated genre, we're talking about something which is fresh and original. By genre, we're not talking about all genres, but I think specifically horror, sci-fi, thriller, war and period.
Maybe it could be one of the projects that some of the people that came to speak to us were working on. I'm not too sure.
I have absolutely no idea what it's going to be for SFF at all. I'm waiting to find out, and I'm quite excited.
I suppose anything that's going to show us different approaches and techniques, and show us how a simple story can become engaging and dramatic.
We've got no idea what it is.
I don't have a clue, but I think it might be something really exciting.
An independent film? Possibly.
We don't know what's happened to him. It gives you nightmares. I just gotta go get him and get him back here where he's safe.
We had no idea what kind of person we were getting. They look very different.
When we went inside and they announced it was going to be a documentary, I was like, Oh, okay. And after watching it, I was like, wow, I would go to the cinema and I would pay for a ticket to go and watch something like that. There was just drama in it.
The Imposter was really, really thought-provoking. I'm just trying to think if I've seen a better film this year, and probably not. And as much of a roller coaster as any thriller that I've seen recently.
Really, really entertaining, and much because, as the director said, you weren't sure exactly what way it was going to go, and you start believing one side and believing the other side. It's really good, messes with your head, and I like films like that.
I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was so good. It was just so well done, and I loved the way how the story kind of unravelled as you kind of sort of got into it.
Well, the big studio films are great, but I think it's nice to have something to really chew over when you come out of the cinema.
I loved how it was an unlinear narrative, and you didn't really know what was going on. And then you get hints and clues. It kind of led me on, the audience, and everyone was pretty on their feet and stuff. It was really good.
The decision to go with the documentary was right because, as they pointed out at the beginning, if they'd made it as a film, nobody would have believed it because it's such an unbelievable thing to have happened.
This is maybe something that you might not want to go and watch necessarily when there are so many big blockbusters around, but when you get to experience something like this, it really makes you feel passionate about these kinds of films.